Hello again, and a good, glorious morning to you. It's a beautiful day with the sunshine. We just got over a few days of rain. The temperature has dropped, and my grass isn't growing, so life is good for me. Hello, and good morning. My name is Jeffrey, and in this video, which is part one of two, we're going to be talking about our changing world, how Onpassive was formed, and a little bit more about our vision. In part two, we're going to discuss the founder, the funding structure, and our imminent soft launch. So I hope you enjoy it. Okay, Onpassive, what will prove to be probably the most revolutionary tech giant in existence, is a new breed of business that's rising from the chaos that's all around us in this world, all right? It's a chaos that would have us living in an illusion of separateness and fighting for resources, but Onpassive is actually a beautiful, beautiful thing. So look around. Unless you've taken refuge in your inner space like I have, the chaos is going to seem to be the norm of the day. It results from change of our current life models that are becoming more stable and sustainable. I mean, face it, we're changing things, right? Okay? And the issues, they're felt in politics, social norms, economic structures. They all feel it, right? It reflects the changes in how we live. That's why we're feeling it, because our life is being affected. And we're fundamentally changing the model of human behavior. And Onpassive is a dominant catalyst for that change in the online marketing space. Okay, so that is our space. That is where we live. The online space, period. Now, take a look at Apple. It's fast approaching a $2 trillion market cap, and it's changed the way we all connect, right? Look at Microsoft, also approaching a $2 trillion mark. That's with a T. That's a lot of money, folks. They've made the PC experience personal, period. They did that. Look at Alphabet. Now, Alphabet's the parent company to Google, and they have forever changed the world through instant access to information. How about Amazon, another tech giant? Of course, it's fallen below the 4 comma threshold, but Amazon has forever changed the way that we shop. And then, of course, there's Facebook. That's bringing up the rear of the top 5 tech giants at something over $600 billion, but they have forever changed the way we socialize and even more. And I think sometimes that they've gone to the dark side personally, but anyway, just like these other giants, Onpassive is going to forever change the way we learn, communicate, and do business online by changing our online modalities. Here's what CEO Ash Mufareh said third quarter of last year, and I quote, "As good as Onpassive is, the things that you know and things you do not know as overall Onpassive, now and future, it is much bigger than Facebook. It is much bigger than Google. And the most beautiful part is that this is to your advantage, to the customer. So when you think things are going to slow down or things are going to run out of traffic, no. You're going to hear the vibration on the ground. I promise you." Unquote. So I'm telling you that Onpassive is the newest high-tech giant on the horizon here, and we're rising out of the chaos, right? And going to be joining the ranks of those that are already established. There's one huge difference. All these previously mentioned companies are based on making that company extremely rich, first and foremost. It's for the company. They do this by perpetuating a business relationship with the very employees working to generate the revenues for them by either subjecting them to oppressive bottom line regulations or by selling their members' digital essences to the highest bidder. Onpassive, now we're recognizing that we're all connected, and it's Onpassive that's based on cooperative effort for the mutual benefit of all its members and the world at large, and has been established to provide success to those previously not able to achieve it. This means as Onpassive builds, it shares substantial profits with its members, enough to easily dissolve the 40-hour work week with its membership. Onpassive gives freedom through 2 specific benefits: enough money to do the things you want to do and enough time to do them. The company's CEO, Mr. Ash Mufareh, didn't shield his words when he said this late last year, quote, The company is not greedy when it comes to profit, unquote. So I sincerely hope I have your attention because I want to tell you the how and why of Onpassive. Let me paint in broad strokes here, okay? I'm sure you know our behavior often brings crisis that forces our life models to change. I alluded to this a little earlier. Whether in business or at home, crap happens, right? And we have to make changes. At the center of that change, there is always chaos. The greater the crisis, the greater the chaos, the greater the change. It works like that. And that's how Onpassive has come onto the scene. Chaos is demanding it. Chaos demands that we change. And Onpassive is that change. There's a reason why governments are going after tech giants, right? There's a reason why the U.S. middle class is disappearing. And there's a reason why political structures are engaged in what we call civil war. And it's all based in change. Although it's safe to say that the world is not just a complete state of, utter failure, it is exhibiting crisis. As an example of this, 1 in every 70 people around the world is caught up in crisis and urgently needs humanitarian assistance and protection. And you can see the article, I got that from below on the slide. They're talking about humanitarian crisis here, right? As in humanity. That makes it personal to us, humans. So don't think for a minute that we're immune to the personal effects of any socioeconomic or even political fallout. And the crisis has been brought about by a behavior that's been based on bad information that's been fed to us by the old sciences. You've heard me talk about this before. I'm talking about the stuff that we learned and turned into beliefs, okay? Like being taught that genes control our biology. I'm going a little too fast here. But you know what? They don't. Like being taught life is disconnected and competitive, by nature. It's not, okay? It's malarkey, the survival of the fittest, bah humbug. The challenges that we have with such beliefs have become very, very apparent with the beginnings of the new sciences, the birth of epigenetics and neurogenesis, and there's a lot more of them. Of course, the breakthroughs in quantum theory, obviously my favorite, when you view that through the lens of potential as seen in the unified field, that shows us we also have a spiritual component that connects us all. And we are aware of this. Onpassive knows this to be true, that we're all connected, okay? And all this new information has played a huge role in the changes we see happening globally and affect everything from technology to economics to politics to our very consciousness. So everything is changing. Our leading scientists, philosophers, and cultural creatives, which, by the way, includes Mr. Mufara, are developing better ways to live on this planet by providing models for life that support our connectedness and are created for everybody's benefit. And leading that change in the online space is an emerging AI IT tech giant, touting the world's biggest singular digital platform, and it's perched along the top of 4 tech pillars of tools, traffic, automation, and income. Boom! That's what you've got with us. That's what you've got here. A company with heart that's going to tackle humanitarian crisis in all its forms through love, caring, and connectedness. And if you can get behind that, then we want you with us. So keep listening because it's going to get a whole lot better. Onpassive recognizes that connectedness and cooperation drive positive change. This is to say that rather than competing with each other for resources and such, positive change is all about connecting and working together in harmony for everybody's benefit. This is important because how we adapt our new understanding is going to determine how we face new challenges and how we solve the old challenges, right? The ones created by the old way of thinking so that we can actually move into the future. Like Einstein said, we can't solve problems using the same thinking that created the problems to begin with. Onpassive has embraced a new way of thinking. It's created the vision of a desired outcome and then back developed a solution to create a way to reach that vision. That vision resulted in a radical new business model that eliminates challenges commonly associated with online failure and guarantees success for its members. And by success, I mean it provides personal freedom with the main benefits of time and money for its entire membership. Our core is one of cooperative economics that assumes complete connectedness, and our response to humanitarian crises is to lift humanity through the paradigm shift that is Onpassive. It's not just some new age philosophy. Our radical business model is actually founded in the hard science of quantum physics and newer sciences, as well as taught by those of the leading scientists. And for those more interested in further study, I would certainly recommend reading Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza and The Biology of Belief by Dr. Bruce Lipton. So why on earth do we really need Onpassive? Well, to explain where we are, where we're going, and why the world needs Onpassive, let's pick it back up at chaos, okay? Let's back up a little bit. Now look at the world today. Looks a little crazy, right? Looks like we're all going through a whole lot of random stuff, random change, but guess what? It's not random. It's disorderly, yeah. It's chaotic. But believe it or not, chaos is not random. It's actually a state of control. Though I gotta say, it's generally unseen control. It is still control. This is particularly noticeable in the world of economics and politics for us. It looks as though things have fallen apart, but they're not really. There is a process underway. There's a movement that flies in the face of the competitive what's in it for me attitude that seems to be so prevalent today, okay? But this is not just about a tech company, i.e. Onpassive, trying to position itself for market share at all. It's about a global awakening, and it's rising up like a phoenix as a part of that awakening. It's a movement of its own and a catalyst for a larger global movement too. Technology is pushing the envelope of change in the online space, which is all part of the global chaos, and the system can't take the strain. It's breaking down. A new one is being established. And as I've said before, we can think of it like this. An old system has structure, right? A new system has structure, right? Well, what happens between the old and the new? Chaos. And just like the two world systems, between the old and the new of the online space, there's a great big puddle of chaos. Chaos is at the center of the process during which one system is breaking down and another one is forming. Chaos happens when the structure of one system is being taken apart and the structure of a new system is being constructed. Think about it like this. Think about the caterpillar. You've heard me say this before. To get ready for a big change, the caterpillar develops a voracious appetite and eats a boatload of leaves, okay? Not unlike what we're probably doing to our earth here, okay? Then it goes into what we're calling a pupa. For butterflies, we call it a chrysalis. Now, I've used the picture of the glass wing butterfly here because to me, it represents Onpassive's transparency. Regardless, we can agree that a caterpillar has structure and a butterfly has structure. But if we cut the chrysalis open, right, which happens between the caterpillar and the butterfly, we see what seems to be or appears to be, I don't know, some kind of gook or greenish yellow or brown paste, right? But whatever it seems to be, it's actually a mass that appears to be without any order at all. But in that goop, there are lots of cells from the old caterpillar structure that are breaking down, and some of the cells are building up for the new butterfly structure. In our example, the pupa is chaos, and it represents the state of the models that we're in today. And that's why Onpassive is emerging. For Onpassive's purposes, changes happening in the online marketing space of the last few years equates to chaos. It's a chrysalis of sorts, okay? It's part of a change moving us from separation and competition to connectedness and cooperation with shared value that helps create a new sustainable global economy, a new online world. Yes, Onpassive is that powerful. It's been created out of the chaos that precedes it. And it's part of a newly emerging system that's going to usher in a change that will disrupt the entire online space. Revolutionary change is sweeping the globe. Make no mistake. Onpassive, a driving force for that big part of that change, is an incredibly sophisticated system that puts AI with heart in the center of a huge digital platform that houses a total internet solution. We call it a TIS, and it puts the power of success into the hands of the little guy, and it's a system that creates freedom for its members through benefits of time and money, It is the evolution of online space, and that is exactly why the world needs Onpassive. So exactly where are we going? What is our vision? Well, you see, Onpassive is a business based on teamwork and shared advantage of its members that is chock full of heart and technological wonders. It's daring and ambitious, has a massive digital footprint, and its digital infrastructure and peripherals are going to show themselves as the biggest disruptive force ever seen in the online space. It's a movement, it's a culture, and it's powered by AI with heart. It's a goal lifting, humanity lifting, and it's clearly expressed in one of my favorite quotes by Mr. Mufara. Quote, "If you can lift up the millions in humanity in any way and leave that legacy, what better? What an honor to be able to serve and to do it." Unquote. So right now, set aside your thoughts about the digital products or the money flow and focus on the big picture that we're talking about, and everything else that you want is going to find you. Through Onpassive, we can make a huge difference in our own homes, our communities, our states, and even beyond in direct proportion to our personal passion that's made powerful by Onpassive. In this way, we lift the human condition for billions, yeah, with a B. Onpassive can predictably enable a future of prosperity and personal freedom with guaranteed success for its members. Through incredible technology, Onpassive can provide success for billions. But think of it. Link the sheer math and mechanics to the business with AI with heart, our connectedness, and Onpassive members can provide so much more with almost magical delivery. Arthur C. Clarke, a science fiction writer and much more, he said this, quote, "Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic," unquote. So if you're thinking our AI with heart sounds magical, you're right, and it is. And those we affect, those we lift up, they're bloody well going to think so too. But Onpassive just didn't go poof and appear out of thin air. It started with a concept that turned into a business plan. You see, Onpassive knows if a business can't make the math work to show the business is predictable, it's not a real business. And to that end, the conceptual creation of Onpassive's products was started years ago based on marketing predictability to ensure a profitability before we collected 1 rent cent from anybody. There were several products to start with, but as more and more were added, the predictability became more and more evident. And this is largely because of Onpassive's ability to regroup existing markets by duplicating their processes, then restructuring them, and then automating them through the use of new, cutting-edge, and even proprietary technology. In this way, Onpassive has become the champion for the masses and a driving force in the new paradigm, a new and revolutionary business model for online marketing and more. Awake to the notion of rapidly evolving global awareness and the need for vision, Onpassive has created its vision statement to define its global role. That vision of an online community of cooperative marketers working to lift humanity solidified into a single powerful statement about halfway through 2019 that identifies the heartfelt aspirations of its owners and its founder, Mr. Ashmufara. Through this vision, now Onpassive is all-inclusive, okay? And it guarantees its members' success while it lifts everybody's hearts and minds to a higher level of caring. For this reason, success, fairness, value, and even benefit constitute the backbone of Onpassive's very, very comprehensive vision. By simply reading through this vision statement, you'll see Onpassive is anything but ordinary. As a business, it cannot be referenced by any specific, currently known market terms because there simply aren't any. We're a new breed. Nothing like us has ever existed before, and there is nothing that we can be accurately compared to right now. In a very broad sense, our mission is your vision. This means you can be online with your vision, your brand, and Onpassive can guarantee your success. As such, you become a cooperative component in the lifting of humanity according to our shared vision. The company will drive traffic for you and treat your companies with respect, and it's going to provide products that are superior and complete, and it's going to ensure residual income that can be left to your families as a legacy all over the world. Keep these things in mind as I read this vision statement, okay? And I quote it. Onpassive is the ultimate, complete, and unique digital marketing platform that ensures everyone succeeds regardless of their backgrounds or ability by offering the simplest environment with the highest standards and the most value while sustaining the benefits of a global stimulus plan. Bam! How's that, right? Now, in that statement, Mr. Mufara has created something absolutely remarkable. And by the way, Mr. Mufara is a university-trained master information technology professional, and he's got more than 20 years of e-commerce experience. He's a very successful businessman. He's a visionary, and he's even an inventor, and I mean a pretty good one, okay? Originally from Palestine, though, he's an American family man that loves hiking and fishing and swimming and space. Boy, does he love space, outer space, anything to do with space, the man's all over it. And in case anybody listening here doesn't know, he is the heart-led brainiac behind Onpassive. So anyway, early on, Onpassive saw the need for a digital platform that could be trusted to provide honest, ethical, and principled leadership while guaranteeing various forms of success without the limits for millions of people that need solutions. It started with the realization that the vast majority of marketers weren't successful because recruiting customers and building teams is tough to do. Marketing tools are expensive, and most people just don't like selling products, especially if those products don't provide real solutions, right? So anyway, as a result, he created a radical new business model that is clean, superior, and affordable, and it does not require any kind of selling or recruiting by its members. You can if you want, but you don't have to. It's ethical, it's fresh, and it's sustainable, and it provides a profitable experience for its members and can transform the lives based on cooperative effort and shared benefit. It's a business that everybody can be proud of. It's a business that can lift the families up. It can lift humanity up. You can leave it as an inheritance. And with this new model comes the paradigm shift that is Onpassive, okay? We are Onpassive, and we're going to explode onto the scene in such a way that the world is going to have no other choice than to take a wide-eyed, jaw-dropping notice. Now, in more than 210 countries, we're a global movement created for its members, created to improve lives, to provide better ways of handling daily routines, and to lift humanity as a whole. However, as stated in various ways, Onpassive is committed to the benefit of all, and one of those commitments is to never look back and say, we should have done this better. In keeping with that, Onpassive has been forged with a superior quality of heart and hard work that is reminiscent of a time when the words "Made in America" meant something and was a source of national pride. Onpassive is 100% American company, and it's a 100% global company, reputable and beyond reproach. I hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope that you look forward to the next one. Part 2 will have to do with the founders, the funding structure, and the soft launch. And I encourage you, please, if you're not a founder, become one. Get back with whoever it was that sent you here. If you've been invited, get back with them and join that team. If not, I certainly would love to have you on my team. Jump in, jump on board, spin up your life, and get things ready to happen because it's all magical and it's all done for you. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to seeing you into the back room of the office there at GoFounders. But regardless of what you do, I wish blessing upon you and your family.